Today is living from source. Living from source. Just make sure that you can see me and hear me. Let me know if you can see me clearly. I think you can, so I can start. Today is the continuation of our conversation on the anatomy of experience, part 7, living from source. So today we are going to explore the 7th center of awareness. Are there more than 7 centers of awareness? Ultimately, yes, infinite, but we are exploring a particular map. And I just want to make sure that you can all hear me very clearly. Let me know if there are any problems. Otherwise, I plan to continue. Okay, centers of awareness, navigating reality through centers of awareness, understanding the map of experience. And today we arrive at the 7th center, which in Sanskrit is referred to as the Sahasrara chakra, the crown chakra, or the crown wheel of awareness, right here at the top. Okay, now actually this chakra transcends all sensory experience and transcends all mental experience as well. And so the tattva, that which is known is beyond the 5 senses. It's what we call the transcendent reality. The Bij mantra can be Om, but is also frequently Soham. Soham unifies the masculine and the feminine energies of the cosmos within the self. The Jnanendriya, the mode of knowing, is transcending even the subtle senses. Once again, the mode of knowing includes transcending even the subtle senses. Somebody asked, what's the mudra? So the mudra is frequently referred to as the 1,000 petals mudra. This is the mudra. Okay. Mudra has just been a seal, a symbol, a neuro-associative conditioning anchor for the entire experience. The mudra is the 1,000-headed, 1,000-petaled flower or symbol. The associated themes, motifs are that the transcendent is the resting place of the divine masculine and the feminine, frequently referred to as Shiva and Shakti energies. So the experience is the union of all opposites and the transcendence of all opposites. It's the crown chakra is the junction point between your consciousness, your Atman, your being, your formless infinite being, and the divine Brahman consciousness, the oneness at the heart of creation, the oneness at the heart of all knowing, the oneness at the heart of all the experience. So I'm just answering my phone or disconnecting my phone. The oneness at the heart of all experience, the super consciousness, the experience of infinite expansion. Okay, so it's the transcendence of not only all sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts, but transcendence of all modes of knowing into pure knowing. into pure love, into pure creativity, into pure being. So the asanas associated with that is actually, in the end, absence of all asanas, pure knowing in the resting of self. But asanas that do help are asanas that encourage inversion, like the headstand, for example. I do a modified headstand every day, but asanas that are inversion asanas actually take the subtle energy and the prana to the crown chakra, the Sahasrara chakra. Now, as we actually move into this transcendent sense of self, it becomes very obvious that the ego-mind identity is as unreal as any thought. The ego-mind identity is unreal as any thought. It's as provisional, it's as ephemeral, it's as transient, it's as ungraspable as a thought. Just as you cannot grasp a thought or an emotion or a feeling or an image in consciousness or any sensation or any perception. No perception is graspable. As soon as you have a perception, that's a snapshot, and then it's replaced by another perception, another snapshot. As soon as you have a feeling, it's replaced by another feeling. As soon as you have an image, it's replaced by another image. As soon as you feel a sensation in your body, it's replaced by another sensation. As soon as you have a memory, it's replaced by another memory, correct? So, no memory, no image, no sensation, no perception, no feeling, no thought is actually graspable. It's ephemeral, it's transient, it's moving so fast that you cannot grasp it. So your ego-mind identity is actually a sense of self based on ungraspable sensations, images, feelings, thoughts, perceptions. And the only thing that gives it reality is actually your name. So the only thing that gives reality to this body-mind experience is the name, Deepak Chopra, which is very provisional. I could have been David Murphy or whatever. So a name, an identity that is racial or national or identification with a physical or emotional or mental body is very provisional. The name is the signature, okay? But so is the body, the signature. But it's a changing signature. The body is a changing signature. The mind is a changing signature. Emotions are changing signatures. Feelings are changing signatures. The name is the anchor, but the name is the presence of being in every transient, ephemeral, ungraspable experience. In short, there is no such thing as a permanent personal identity. The personal identity is the interbeingness of relationship that is constantly changing. It's part of the matrix of interbeingness, which of course is encapsulated in the interbeingness of the microbiome, which is the genetic entanglement of all biological species on our planet. Okay, so our genes, our genetic signature is entangled with the genetic signature of the entire microbiome of life, of existence. So existence is not just this entity. Existence is the entanglement of all life. And that all life is embodied, we might say, or finds a signature as a species-specific entanglement of sensations, images, feelings, thoughts, perceptions. Interbeingness, as Thich Nhat Hanh says, we are interbeings that interarise in the inter-isness. And then actually, ultimately understanding who you are is going beyond the interbeingness as well, into the self of all that is. So actually there are certain milestones that give us an indication of where we are in this fluctuating state of existence as experience. The fluctuating sense of existence we call experience. But there are certain milestones that give us an indication of where this journey is. And I remember the journey is from here to here. It's just a change of state, a change of awareness, a change of sense of self. So here are the milestones. Let me go over them. And I'm going to go over maybe 12 or 13 milestones. The first milestone is there's a change of sense of self. The change of sense of self is in the direction of the nameless, formless, infinite being that we are. The change of sense of self is from the ungraspable to that which is eternal, formless, without cause, being, awareness, pure knowingness, pure love, pure creativity. That's the first thing that changes. No longer am I Deepak Chopra, I am. And Deepak Chopra is a process. It's the entanglement of sensations, images, feelings, thoughts, memories, aspirations, desires, imagination. All memories, all thought, basically all thought. Thought is the culprit. Thought separates you from everything else. Thought gives identity to experience which by itself is ungraspable. So what's the second milestone? The second milestone is a shift in emotions. The background of all emotions, by the way, pleasurable emotions, unpleasant emotions, in other words, pleasure, pain, all emotions, the background of all emotions is what we can call equanimity, the peace that passes understanding. So even as our sense of self shifts, our emotions move in the direction of empathy and compassion and love and joy, but ultimately to pure equanimity, unflappable, independent of the fluctuations of the melodrama of every existence. So even though there is more love, there is less drama. There is less drama. The third milestone is a shift in cognition, in the shift in modes of knowing. So usually now in all these everyday explorations, we've spoken of modes of knowing, jnanendras. But now we go beyond all jnanendras into a mode of knowing that can only be called knowingness or pure knowing. You know without the use of thought. You know without thinking. You know even prior to thinking. So, knowingness. Third milestone. The fourth milestone is a shift in perception. So perception is not filtered through the conditioned mind. Every perception is infused, literally, with the presence of being. Every perception is infused with the presence of being. So unfiltered clarity of perception, present moment awareness. When you have present moment awareness, you see yourself in every object of perception. You see yourself in every thought. You see yourself in every image. You see yourself in every other being. Symbolically speaking, an aspect of yourself is present in every experience. So you are present as experience, as presence in this microphone, in the computer, in the book, in the dakini, in the bookshelf. Wherever you go, there you are as the presence of being. This is a very dramatic shift in perception called celestial perception. Everything is infused with the light of awareness. Looks beautiful. You see yourself in every object, that's beauty. You see yourself in every person, that's love. Fourth milestone. Fifth milestone would be a shift in memory. So no longer victimized by memory, but using memory for creativity. That's a direct sutra from Lord Shiva's teachings, the first yogi. I use memories, but I do not allow memories to use me. So memory becomes a sanskara that you're aware of. Sanskara is the seed of memory, vasana is the tendency for future choices, and it's all tied to karma, which is, of course, the interpretation of past experience. So in the shift of memory is also independence from what we call karma. Karma is just being victimized by memory. So I would say that's a fifth milestone. A sixth milestone could be a direct insight, what is also called vipassana. So vipassana means direct insight, inner vision of the nature and understanding of fundamental reality as opposed to perceptual reality. Insight, vipassana. The discernment that occurs from knowing the difference between the real and the unreal, the transient and the timeless, the perceptual and the witnessing awareness of perception. So I would say that's the sixth milestone as we wake up. The seventh milestone, and they're all interrelated, they're all entangled, right? So they're all entangled. So the seventh milestone would be intuition. Intuition means going beyond the rational mind, understanding that reality is contextual, relational, holistic, doesn't have a win-lose orientation, goes beyond direct cause-effect relationships. You're eavesdropping on the mind of the universe. That's what true intuition is. And intuition opens the door then to a deeper reality, which we call pure creativity. The proliferation of uncertainty, the correlation of unlikely relationships that are acausally or without cause connected to each other. So creativity, new contexts, new meanings, new stories, new relationships, emergence of something that never existed before. The eighth milestone. The ninth milestone would be a vision that emerges from there. We can say heavenly vision, extraordinary vision. And that vision is spontaneous. It's a shift in states of being that allow us to experience a vision that encompasses infinite possibilities and infinite choices. And that vision leads to the 10th milestone here that I wanted to mention, from vision to flow, to peak experiences, peak performance, peak living. No resistance, no anticipation, no regrets. Flow. Flow leads to ecstasy, which is transcendence, the 11th milestone. The 12th would be loss of personal agency. I'm not doing anything, it is happening. Non-doing. Do less, achieve more. Ultimately do nothing, achieve everything. The identity is moving from me to we to us to infinite, from 0 to 1 to infinity. Remember our formula. Infinity is equal to 0 is equal to 1. So as we move from loss of sense of personal agency, we only relate to spontaneous synchronicity. Spontaneous synchronicity. Spontaneous meaningful incidences. Spontaneous good luck. And finally, that leads to the 13th milestone that I wanted to mention today, which would be complete loss of fear of death, and recognizing that death happens to that which is transient, ephemeral, ungraspable, and ephemeral. Death is to a thought that I am this body mind. I am not this body mind. I am the awareness in which mind, body, and the entire universe is a shifting, ceaselessly changing, ungraspable entanglement of sensations, images, feelings, thoughts, perceptions, memories, desires, all ephemeral, transient, changing, ungraspable. So what I thought is maybe before, I'll read a poem from Tagore which encapsulates this. But before I do that, let's just do a little ritual right now. Bring your awareness here, soft eyes, keep your back erect. Remember today, if you want to visualize the mudra, this is it. If you want to, bring your awareness here. The color is violet. And remember, violet, kind of very ephemeral, translucent, infinite, or going towards the infinite, violet color. Mantra, Saham. Saham. Yantra and mantra. Yantra, the instrument, the symbol, and mudra and mantra all go together. Saham, 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 Saham. Mantra, sacred sound. Yantra, sacred symbol. Mudra, sacred seal. Practice Tantra, 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 the channeling of energy ultimately to the source of all energy. So I thought I might as well read you a poem that comes from this experience of what we can call unity consciousness. It's about the biosphere here and the biosphere elsewhere. If it's elsewhere, it is here. If it is here, it is everywhere. And if it is not here, it is nowhere. Okay? Rabindranath Tagore, the same stream of life that runs through my veins night and day, runs through the world and dances in rhythmic measures. It is the same life that shoots in joy through the dust of the earth into innumerable blades of grass and breaks into tumultuous waves of leaves and flowers. It is the same life that is rocked in the ocean cradle of birth and death, in ebb and in flow. I feel my limbs are made glorious by the touch of this world of life, and my pride is from the light throb of ages dancing in my blood this moment. The light throb of ages is dancing in your blood this moment. And what is it? It's awareness. It's being. It's the infinite that you are. And there is no compromise. The infinite cannot be compromised. The real cannot be sacrificed for the unreal. What is unreal? Anything that is ungraspable and dreamlike and changing and ephemeral and transient. You are not the transient symbols, even though they represent you as the presence of being. You are the source of all existence, not just personal human existence. Go beyond all the conditioning of the mind. Metta human, right? Metta, going beyond the human conditioned mind. We deserve this, and it's our privilege to ultimately achieve self-realization. And that is the only solution, by the way, to the world's problems. There is no other solution to social injustice or economic injustice or unsustainability or climate change or war or terrorism or the risk of extinction. Only spiritual solution. And what is the spiritual solution? Be here now. Timeless being as the only identity. Remember what Tagore said, in this playhouse of infinite forms, I caught sight of the formless. And I knew that I was that formless being. And so my life was blessed. So thank you, my friends. And today, I think that will be it. Today, that'll be it. How do I discern intuition from superstition? Well, anything that you can see, feel, imagine, think about, touch, taste, smell, anything that you can experience that you call physical is the superstition. Okay. If you can see it, touch it, taste it, smell it, think about it, imagine it, conceptualize it, it's not real. What is real is that formless being which is modifying itself into these experiences moment by moment, ceaselessly, timelessly, and now. I think we'll stop here today. Okay, thank you, my friends. I'll see you tomorrow, and we will continue. This is a journey without destination, and therefore our destination is a never-ending horizon. Thank you. Keep reaching for the stars, but keep your feet on the ground.